not hard to see, I guess, because it's in the shadow, but see these two tree breaks? They're pointed in the same down direction. So I'm gonna have to walk out of the bush here because this is quite a ways off road. That's why the loggers didn't get to it. So time frame is right before the logging happened. There's two, well actually there's three there, but there's two that are left. The third one's broken over. And they're pointed down the road. Now this is really important because my theory is if it points towards the trail is okay. If it points down the road, it means down the road is okay, but that also means don't come up. And what my colleague and I just noticed is, even on both sides of the road, see that break? Let me zoom in a little bit. So that's a tree break, and there's the road. So it's pointed down the road. And if you look right on the other side of the road, lo and behold, what do we have there? Get a better shot of it. Look at that. You see that? It's a tree break, and it's pointed down the road. So my theory holds that they don't want you coming up here. And what are they coming up here to do? Coming up here to log. And again, if you look at the road, see all these, they basically come in here with a machine and all this is cut. You see all the cuts? Just totally destroyed. And there were more tree breaks in here. The reason that one's still standing is it's just out of range of where they cut. Same thing with this one over here. And the two that I just saw down there, they're all out of range of where they're cut. I mean, for them to cut that, they're gonna have to cut through these big, huge trees. So that's the only evidence left. And again, all this happened. You see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tree breaks within 30 yards of each other.
Easy, yeah.
I think someone's trying to tell you something. Like, I hate to be animated and goofy about it, but somebody's trying to tell you something. If you think that that's a goddamn coincidence, if you think that can happen naturally.
Well, and what's really hard to describe too is that all the cuts that you were just describing. The thing was, I would say every 50 yards, like in previous section there's 3-4 tree breaks every 50 yards. And I don't know anybody could ever say that happens naturally. It just doesn't. Yeah. And all on the road. So that machine was just giving you access for the logging equipment, and that's why they took off the stuff that was close to the ditches. It was just for the equipment to come up here.
Yeah, and we're not saying that they were purposely breaking the tree breaks, but if they would allow us to educate them a little bit, somebody come along here and go, somebody's trying to tell us something, and we have absolutely no clue. And they've been talking us like this for at least decades, maybe hundreds of years. I don't know. Nobody's been able to figure this out. That's how completely is it kind of incompetent that this has been going on?
Do you want my honest answer?
Yeah.
Because I'm always honest.
Yeah, please.
It's all about money. Even if there is somebody that may be conscious of what's going on here, they're not going to say anything because they're told not to, and that's the truth. They're told not to because if there's a sentient being out here in the forest, guess what? Logging gets shut down. People don't make money.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah. And it's really not my place to make that decision. What my place is that the truth comes out. And as painful as a pill as that may be to swallow, there's a truth going on out here. Like Survivor Man says, there's something out here and we have a responsibility to figure out what that is. And I have something to say. This is a paradigm shift in all of humanity. This species, what they can teach us and how they can reconnect us with our wildness, with wilderness. Like, wait, we certainly are masters of civilization, but I would like to introduce us to the masters of the wilderness. Because what we can learn, how many people need to get back to nature, to reconnect with nature, because in nature is the preservation of the whole world. And right now, humans have most and similar, not with species, but with viruses, is how we're literally existing. And are you okay with that? Because I'm not. And this species can inspire us to get back to nature, reconnect, even in spiritual, beautiful ways. People are so lost. And tell me wilderness makes you crazy. Because you're just having some fun, you know. But it's beautiful out here. The daisies are out. The salmon berries are beautiful and ripe out here. All the, in my research area, the strawberries are ripening. Salmon berries will be next. And the Sasquatch are out here they want to be heard, and that's what this video is all about, is letting them have their voice. I've gotten so many amazing lessons from this group of Sasquatch, and something that's very new, that it's going to take years to figure it out, but it's definitely on my radar, is, I'll switch and show you. So see these bends? So there's a bent tree there. Oops, lost focus. And down further there's a bent tree. Over here there's a bent tree. Driving up the road there's bent trees. Down over here there's 2 bent trees. And just to really get my point, we went past a couple more that are bent down there. Normally I wouldn't think much of this, except when the Sasquatch went absolutely crazy with all their busted trees twisted around, there was always a bent tree in that cluster, which tells me, obviously I know the Sasquatch busted the trees, bent the trees. They were snapping trees like they don't do clean. They were hostily breaking them, twisting together. But in this patch that was clearly done by a Sasquatch, there were even Sasquatch tracks on the ground. But in that patch, there was always a bent tree that was bent the same way that the breaks were, you know, indicating to me that it's Sasquatch. But now where do we go? How do I know which bent tree, if not all? Look at these guys. Look at that. Like bent right over, beside a bent right over tree, beside bent over, bent over. They're just all over the place. So this is not, I don't know, you can't even, like this one over here is in a different direction than that one's in a different direction. Then this one is in a different direction than that one. This one's in a different direction. You can't even, you know, and I wouldn't probably make a big fuss about what is this, like 12 bent trees in 500 yards. The problem is that there's breaks all beside these as well. So there's tree breaks in correlation with these bent trees. So they mean something. And now it's a whole other level of what are we going to do to substantiate these, because I can recognize and teach people about the breaks, the importance of them, what they mean and why they're in a certain way. But what do I teach and where do I go? It's like a whole new thing I'm learning about. What's with that one?
Just where it came from. Like,
so James
had to come through in between all those trees.
That is pretty crazy. That's pretty significant. Have a look at that, y'all. So here's, I didn't even really notice this one, to be honest. So there's bend, 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 bend. Look at this one. Look how it came through all those trees. Like these ones are kind of on the outskirts, as you can see, but that one, really look how, and that really had to come through. Get a closer shot. See how that, it's way back there. Look at all the trees. Man, that's crazy. So it had to push through all that vegetation. Look how long this is. That can't even really happen, can it? Like, you understand what I'm saying? So look how long this is. See how it goes and goes and goes. Let me give you a longer shot. That's a long tree. So it literally would have had to push through all that. Look at that. That's almost not even possible, is it? That's ridiculous.
This is all new this year. Like in the last, I'm going to say in the last 2 months.
This is new in the last 2 months for him.
So I'm up here all the time and I hadn't seen it before. So I guarantee it's not snow load or wind, because it's the only ones that are like that. The rest would all be on the ground too.
Yeah, and in this particular area where there's logging and tree breaks. Yeah, that's really significant, y'all. Like, man, that shows really good evidence that even this, how the hell did that get through there, James? That's crazy. We got all the way through there. Even I'm saying, like, how did a Sasquatch get it through there? It's impressive.
The branches aren't broken or anything.
Yeah. There's no damage or trauma to it?
There's some missing leaves up here.
Huh. Wow.
It's still alive.
So the theory that we have that's really important is frequencies. I can prove, I have evidence to substantiate significantly that they can feel what's under the ground. So they can literally put their hand, I don't know how they do it exactly, but they can feel rocks inches under the earth and pull them up and know what shape they are. Like a dolphin can penetrate into a human body until there's a baby in there, or see someone's in distress. They have that radar to be able to do that. And I have significant evidence to substantiate that. So how would they do that? They would do that with a frequency, like a dolphin has sonar. So I also believe they're bending these trees with that frequency. So, because this tree is not bent through trauma. You can't just, you can go try to bend a tree like that. Just try to do it with a small one. The damn things spring right back up, or you break them. So what the theory is they're coming along to these bends and they're using frequencies to cause trauma in the tree, to mold it and bend it. The way they're likely using frequencies to break trees and snap them clean, because the tree breaks, I mean, the power that I'm seeing in the tree breaks, it's really beyond anything. Like, I know Sasquatch are twice as strong as a gorilla, but that power just doesn't exist in nature. With the tree breaks that I've seen, it's really like, it's not plausible.
Well, and they have infrasound, right?
Right, yeah, so
infrasound is a vibration that disables their prey, or you, whatever
right.
they choose. Like elephants and lions have it.
Yeah.
Sasquatch have it.
They're using frequencies. So, and these frequencies, they can sense things with these frequencies, they can knock you out with these frequencies, and they can bend things with these frequencies, is what my theory is. And it's not far-fetched whatsoever. When you get out here and you see what's going on, and then you start thinking about things like how the Egyptians, that's the theory now in science, is how the Egyptians built the temples. They couldn't do that with elephants, and they just couldn't. Like, we're aware of that. We're just not giving that any credence now. So now we're thinking they used frequencies to make big, huge boulders, even like polarities. Imagine you magnetize the ground positive and you magnetize the boulder positive. They repel each other, and those are your frequencies, and you can move a 10-ton stone. So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things going on right now that are substantiating this, and people are talking about this a lot, because that's why this is no small deal of a discovery. This is no Billy ape that we just discovered. This is a species that's doing incredible, amazing things. And I have papers and oceans of evidence to substantiate all these facts, and that's why this discovery is so important on so many levels. We need this discovery. The world is in a great deal of turmoil right now, and it doesn't seem to be getting much better. And this discovery can really help facilitate that, and I hope you can see that and appreciate what we're working for here.